G'day everybody and welcome to Jog Shadow Gaming. As always, I'm Balth on the channel where we live to game and game to live, and today we're looking at our third episode in Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. Now in our last one we went through all the multiplayer. I had a talk through each of the factions, we showed the sub-factions, I talked through a little bit of my experiences on each one of them. If you did watch it, great. If you didn't, give it a go. I give you a little bit of in-depth on, or as much as I've seen so far in about 30 hours of play on each of the factions. Now, what I want to do with the rest of this series, while I've still got a little bit of time with the game, is I want to actually go through the factions and do a little bit more in depth. We'll play an AI skirmish battle, and I'll talk a little bit about them in a little bit more depth. Let's start off with something a little bit, you know what, we're going to start with the Tau Merchant Fleet, and we'll go backwards this way. Cool. All right, so let's start it off. Now, the Tau, I've already talked through this in episode 1, but I'll go through it really quickly. In the early days of their Spaceborne expansion, the Tau made little distinction between trade and conquest, for both offered opportunity. Their heavily armed and armored trading vessels served them well in early conflicts, blazing a trail of expansion that has never once gutted. The Tau Merchant Fleet is composed of very few, slow, well-equipped vessels. Each is equally capable of destroying a foe at a variety of ranges, relying on their formidable shields to keep the vessels intact, while barrages of ordnance torpedoes reduce the enemy to ruin. Cool, alright. We did go through these. These are the different sub-factions. I don't know the Tau very well, to be honest with you. They're a fairly new faction. I'm a bit of a Space Marine fanboy, and the only reason I'm not doing Space Marines is because they're terrible. They need major balancing. I didn't want that to be episode 3. So we'll go with these guys. They're very, very strong. Now, as our abilities, we are a little bit slower. We're not as ranged as the Tau Protectorate Fleet, but we do have a lot of strong ranged weapons. So I always tend to go with the Experimental Railgun. I think it's really, really good. I like to use the Stasis Bomb, and the reason I almost always go Stasis Bomb is because if you can land it, you can just sit there and pound things forever, which is really, really good. This one here is really good too, and in competitive play, you really want to use Multi-Spectrum Probe, because it really does let you know where your enemies are. But we're playing the computer, and I'm going to play on sort of medium to give you guys so that I can talk about it a little bit more. Of our upgrades, this will depend quite a lot on our ships, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about them in a bit. So we're gonna go damage caused by asteroid fields and spore fields is nullified. Multi-spectrum sensor, the identification range of ships is increased by 4,000. Applies to fleet escort ships and light cruisers, so that's interesting. Seeker turrets applies to flagship. Ion cannon range is increased by applies to your flagship. While in lock-on stance, every friendly Tau ship within the ship identification range has an increase of its rail guns. That one we're going to use. Yep. Straight field enemy accuracy is reduced and applies to the line ships. We're going to use that one. And then we're going to go 1v1. We'll look at this. Now, in this one, this is really interesting. They've got some presets here, so fleet details. So this is a standard layout. Easy to handle fleet with few weapon skills to manage a good assortment of the most reliable ships. You've got tactical, balanced fleet, mostly made of light ships, which bring good tactical options thanks to some weapon skills. Heavy tonnage fleet with mighty firepower. However, the reduced number of ships makes it vulnerable to overwhelming. And then you've got invasion. Swarm type fleet with excellent scouting and harassing capacity. However, the low resistance of ships requires focus and anticipation. Now, the other thing that you can do, which is really cool, and this is both in multiplayer or on, we're going to just do NPC, is you can actually go in here and then create, you've got a certain amount of points, you can create your fleet. What do you want? Yeah. What I'm going to do is I want to kind of get a little bit of everything. I've got 1,200 points here, so I'm going to go, we'll use this one here. This is one of the big boys. We'll use that one there. We're going to go, this is very similar to this one. And as you see down the side here, guys, it starts to let you know what's on the ship. So if we look at this one here, the weapons are Kroot double barrel missile pod. This is the Kroot warship, right? Double barrel missile pod. So it's got short range, it's got basically what it's got on it. Yeah, that's its things. Then you've got attributes. So we've got boarding mastery. The boarding actions skill can be used at 360 angle for front of the ship. Immune to criticals, right? Brutal strike. Good troop efficiency. So boarding actions by troops, basically it gives you that. Disorganized. So the ship suffers a basic 50 to bravery penalty. Yeah. Mercenaries. If the morale value of this ship is reduced to 0, the ship will try to disengage from battle as soon as possible. Warfare. The ship benefits of the tower warfare selected at the beginning of the battle. So the tower kind of work. You can choose 2 different tactics that sort of help them out a little bit. Superconducting engines. The ship has a very low acceleration declaration. Yeah, okay. So this thing is like an armored fortress. It's almost like the orcs. It just moves around. If it gets close to things, it's going to bomb the hell out of them. It's going to like just invade them hard. Yeah. So this is a bit more slow moving, just sort of, yeah. Then you got the Demurg Stronghold. All right. So this one has more guns. Cutting beam. A cutting beam weaponry has to be charged. Right. There's cutting beam. I won't go through them all because we'll be here all day. Torpedo launcher fires 6 torpedoes. You've got launch bays for launching bombers and drones and bits and pieces. Lance artillery, so weapons for lancers, which cut through shields mostly. Macro batteries, which are more hull damage and long range. And then macro battery weapon, another one. Yeah, so you got 2. You got macros and macro bat. So yeah, you got 2 things of those. Okay, so damage caused by asteroid fields is nullified. So you can go through asteroid fields with this particular one. So that's fun. Brutal strike. The ship has a 10% chance to deal additional troop damage, which amounts depend on its tonnage. So there you go. Average troop efficiency. So not as good as the other one. So it's not as good as getting close range. It's more of a bit of a ranger one. Independent. The ship suffers a basic minus 25 bravery penalty. Low maneuverability, it doesn't move very fast, pretty soon. Mercenaries, warfare, and then this one here, gravitic drive propulsion. The ship gets all ahead full high energy turn and burn retros, right? So it's a bit more like the Space Marines. So those are those 2. Gal Leth Boron. Let's go with this one. I don't want to make that one my flagship, no. Why? It should make... Right, it's making this one my flagship for some reason. Don't really know why it's doing that. Anyway, this one here, so you've got double barrel heavy railgun, gravitic hook orca. This ship is deployed with an additional orca escort ship for each gravitic hook. Missile launchers, launch bays, and ion cannons. Cool. These 2 are very similar, so I'm not going to go too far into that. I've used 800, so let's keep going. Demorg Bastion, pop that in there. We're going to need some... what do we got here? One of these? No, I'm over now. What I'll do is... I've still got a couple of hundred, so what I'll do is I'll grab a couple of the escorts. Now the reason I'm getting so many little escorts is because these guys basically let you know where everybody is, so they're quite useful. They don't last very long, but they are quite useful. So we've got a little bit more points. We can go another one of these, and that's about it. Right, so we're ready to go. So that gives you most of them. We didn't get these guys in, but that's okay. They're battleship, battle cruiser, light cruiser, escort vessel. I don't know what that stands for. All right, so we'll save it. We'll just call it Battlefleet, and we'll move on from here. So save it. So now it's saved as a custom Battlefleet, so I can pick that now if I want to. Now remember how we did if escort ships. Right, so as long as we're on lock-on status, while in lock-on stance, every friendly tower ship within the ship identification range has accuracy of its railguns enhanced to exceptional. Strove field, enemy accuracy is reduced, so that's for our bigger ships, right? Applies to line ships. Okay, so we'll pick, let's go the tower now, and let's launch it up. We'll do random. I'll just do a random guy. We'll leave it on medium and I'll launch it up. I found that I can play hard and win probably about, at this point, I can probably win around 70% of the time. Very hard is actually a real challenge. Like, real challenge. I love these cutscenes, how they've done a cutscene at the start of every sort of battle. It is really, really cool. I think they've done a really good job with it. It helps to make you feel like you're for this fleet. Now, so these guys are basically, they're just cannon fodder for either finding your targets, or like you can use them just to steal points too, which is what I tend to like to do with them. I'll tend to take 2, and I'll use them over here, and they are literally cannon fodder. Now, when placing, it's pretty simple. You can, I mean, I won't go into this too much, but we did all this in the first episode, so hopefully you've got all that. I'm going to set these to group 2 as my little group of escorty type stuff. These guys we're going to put, looking at the battlefield, we've got one here. He's going to come in here. The PC is going to come in here and probably move against this, I would say. We are going to come up this way. We're going to take this one. We're going to move on to this one and then probably meet them, I would say, somewhere around here. If instead they're down here, we'll try and steal this point and zip across. Cool, and we'll call that, this fleet, Fleet 1. Control 1 it. Now, ready up, and...
As the ethereals wish.
Spread a little bit wider.
Closing on your position.
Okay, these guys are going to move into here. Okay, so we can already see something going on here, right? So there's our enemy is in there somewhere. What I'm going to do is we're going to launch some fighters, destroy a squadron.
Bombing run underway.
And do a bombing run straight under them. Now they'll get going. What they'll do is they'll intercept this, right? And they'll have a bit of a battle. If they win, they'll keep going. If not, not.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Here we go.
At your orders, Colonel.
You have seized a strategic area.
What else have we got? Heavy seeker missile barrage.
That cannot be done, Colonel.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Got a fighter battle going on here, which we will probably lose, to be fair. So as you can see here, we've got our guns, and they're on these two. Torpedoes. It's our target range. Okay, now let's move in.
Serve the Corvatra.
Okay, so he's dropped that down us. That's fine. We're going to move.
It will be so.
Aircast ready for
Okay, so we've got Dark Eldar. So we're going to ping him quickly. This marks him. From here, we'll throw out some of these guys.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Got some fighters on there. That's cool.
Aircast ready for order.
So we've got our little guys over here. We're going to move them up here.
It will be so.
We're going to ping him real quick.
An enemy target.
We're going to do lock on. The weapons, we're going to do more damage. See how, yeah, he's got some guys over there. That's all right. You can see how quickly things move. So I was only over there for a second. Quite literally a second. And things started moving straight away. Now we're going to turn this guy. Nice to get in.
Surveying location. Mining ship underway.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
We're going to move these guys
The
up
ethereals
towards here.
guide us.
We're going to use these two. Continue our fight here.
Aircast ready for orders.
Something to mine there.
Drones have identified an enemy target. Gravitic drive engaged.
Use that to lock on. We're going to lock on.
Targeting sensors lock on.
We're going to lock on with a whole lot of them. Ping him again.
Bombing run underway.
Demiurge ship at your orders.
Well, we're going to use this.
Get us moving.
Get a bit closer.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Surveying location. Demiurge Brotherhood responding.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
You saw the damage I managed to inflict
At your
then.
orders, Koro.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Cool, alright.
How may I serve the town?
Got rid of one.
Honor the teachings.
We're going to use
of
our little
Viola.
light craft here. Keep an eye on him so he can't get away from us. Now we don't have the range of other tower. You notice how I
Serve
used
the Korvacha.
the more strength and I keep throwing bombing runs at him.
Underway.
Need to get him out of there. Now he's taking a lot of damage.
We've got holes in our hull.
Not much we can do about that. We can...
Aircast ready for orders.
You see how we've run out of units? Now if we get close enough... it's going to die before we
Imperials
can,
has been
unfortunately. But if we got close enough, we could actually put our guys back in there to retake the ship. We've got a mutiny of these guys here. That's cool.
How may I serve the town?
We can deal with that a bit later.
Drones have identified an enemy
Reload.
target. That cannot be done, Koro.
Okay, we got these guys away.
Barracuda shoals launched.
Now, morale's pretty good. There's nothing major going on.
Corel, ready.
Gonna keep launching on this guy.
That cannot be done, Koro.
We are going to turn like that.
Spread the greater good.
He's got fires on board. It's all going on. Missiles away. We'll stop him there.
Patient hunter
Reload.
gets the prey.
You have accumulated 25%
gone.
of strategic points.
So we're taking the points here. Now, he's moving up on us. He's got a couple of ships here. We're going to turn
At
around.
your orders, Koro. Honor the teachings of Viola.
You have
We're actually gonna
seized a
move our
strategic
larger ship
area. You
forward.
have seized a strategic area.
And our smaller ones forward too. To spot these
Drones
guys.
have identified an enemy target.
And we're going to ping him.
The enemy
like
has
so.
accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Corel, ready.
We're rallying. He's moved in on us. It's probably not the best thing to do. What we're going to do now...
How may I serve the tower?
Right there. Move this guy up.
Serve the Korvacha.
We're going to get a destruction victory here more than likely. Don't want to scuttle that. You want to get out of there. Okay, we're locked on.
Targeting sensors, lock on.
We pinged him and then we locked on to get our bonuses for
Closing
that.
on your position.
Well,
Engage. Restored commanding. Corel, ready. Shift to optimal combat speed.
cool. Throw out some more of these guys. He's dead.
Aircast ready for orders.
Scuttle this now. And that's the win. So, you get a bit of a look there at them. They do have some good range. They're a lot more tanky. I mean, they got some pretty cool stuff. It's very much We use bombers a lot in that one. To be honest with you, that's a pretty easy matchup. Like I said, the Eldar, I feel very disadvantaged there. I mean, we had massive tonnage. They couldn't hope to outgun us, and they couldn't get, and this is the problem with the Eldar, the Drukhari, or all the Eldar, I think. They're just too weak to do the damage. If you're going to be that weak, you've got to be putting out a lot of firepower, or they should be sending a lot of missile boats or something. I just think they need tweaking. So guys, that was the Tau Merchant Fleet. Pretty straightforward, not too difficult to understand. They're a medium sort of everything. They're pretty good at just about everything. They got a little bit stronger firepower than some. Their maneuvering's not too bad. That wasn't too hard to deal with, yeah. So that was pretty good. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. That's the Tau. That's the, Tau Merchant Fleet. I'll probably do Tau Direct Protectorate Fleet 2 in this episode, actually. We'll move on to that because it's only about 20 minutes, so I can do the next one. So the Tau Protectorate Fleet are a bit different. They're not as tanky. Like, you notice these guys move really slow, are very tanky. There's a lot of assault craft going out, like we just said. These guys are just pure firepower. I mean, it's like sniping's a valid tactic, you know? Sniping is valid strategy, in their opinion. Who did we go? We'll go these guys this time. Actually, we'll go these guys. We'll definitely use the railgun. We didn't get to use the stasis bomber. I didn't use it, so I will use it on this one. We want to extend the range of our guns, so we'll go again for the escorts. And we'll definitely go for that one there, for the flagship on this one, because the flagship is deadly. Okay, we're going to jump in here. We'll do 1v1 skirmish. Let's go and look at our fleet again. I've got 1002, so we are going to use the Tau. This one. This guy here has got heavy railgun, coaxial, heavy ion cannon, double barrel heavy railgun, gravitic hook warden, launch bays, and torpedo launchers. It is a beast. Low maneuverability. The ship can perform high energy turn maneuvers. Planned strike. The ship has 20% chance to deal additional troop damage. Average troop efficiency. No lightning strike. So this is not a close range ship. You don't want to be getting close range with anything. Warfare, so you can pick one of the two, and I didn't do that in the last one, so I'll explain that in this one. Independent, the ship suffers a basic -25 bravery. Adaptive deflector, the ship's frontal armor is considered heavy as long as its generator is functional. And then gravitic, basically, yeah. Okay, so we got this guy here. We're gonna go with, not this one, we will go with this one. So we'll grab one of these, we'll grab one of these, one of these. These guys are just slightly different. They're similar ship, but they're just slightly different on their loadout. We will get one of these, 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 and one of these. Whoop, hang on. Have I gone too far? There we go. 139. Okay, so what did we get rid of? We got one of those. 194. Perfect. Cool, actually. Yep, that's fine. So, well, again, we'll just call this Belth's. Whoops. Fleet. And let's have a look at the other side of the Tau. Yeah. Cool. And we'll launch it. And we'll just leave it at that for now, because I'm just doing the explaining. So at the moment, I think these guys are possibly one of the strongest races. One of the strongest, like really strong. And I'll show you why I think they are. Hopefully it doesn't make me look like a dick. Okay, so in this one we can choose between, this is the only faction that can do this, their tactics. So if you have a look, it says the ship will benefit of the Tau warfare selected at the beginning of the battle. When the ship is firing at a marked ship, its critical chance is multiplied by 2. The accuracy of the ship is raised to exceptional as long as it is stealthed. So those are your two options, whether you go Monkar or Kaon, right? I tend to go Monkar.
The killing blow brings the enemy's end.
And the reason for that is you see all these little escort ships? They're like so many of them because they just run around pinging you constantly and giving back data as where you are, and then the big ones just shoot. That's pretty much what they do. So we're going to take a couple of these guys and let's have a look at the battlefield. We've got... There's one here, and then the rest of them are here. So they're going to take this and then meet us here. We're going to take our main fleet here and then shoot here. We're going to leave a little fleet here. These guys are just going to sit right here. Like so. And then the rest of these guys are just going to sit here. Let's see. Debris. Hopefully we don't that too much. Cool bananas. All right, so we're gonna actually, you know what? We'll peel off one more of these guys. Put them over here. We'll call them number 2, and we'll call these 1. Okay, and let's ready up. We'll go. Hang on, we'll go to number 2 first. Ready up. You guys can just take that real quick.
The ethereals guide us.
Go over 1. And guys, just sit.
Gravitic drive engaged.
Now, we're going to send out our Destroyer Squadron. Superior Fighter Squadron. We'll hit out the Superior Fighter Squadron.
Barracuda shoals launched.
Just to see what we can find. Need to ascertain without. So the majority of them have come through here.
You have seized a strategic area.
These guys are going to move here. We're going to try and get over to here as quick as we can.
To spread the greater good.
Should be able to get past there without taking any damage, I think. What happened there?
You have seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized a strategic
Ah,
area.
shit. That sometimes happens. They sometimes hit each other. Especially when you're in a big grouping, which is a real pain in the bum.
For Anvar, it will be so. The patient hunter gets the prey.
Okay, we're going to move these guys forward. And we'll move these guys forward. Got a little bit of a fire going on here, so we'll fix that.
Casts construction.
And just get rid of that. These
drones have identified an enemy target.
Yeah, so that's gonna help to keep
At
out.
your orders, Koro.
Okay, we got another tower fleet.
Pure Tide's teachings guide our fire.
Okay, now we're gonna. This is gonna turn.
The
Face that way.
Shall prosper.
So, oh, for God's sake.
Gravitic drive to maximum.
Okay, we've got a stasis field going on there. Now pinged them.
How may I serve?
We're going to use lock on to attack. Look at the damage this thing does.
Primary systems taking
Oh,
heavy
for God's
damage.
sakes, are you serious?
As the ethereals wish.
That's just stupid. Still some bugs there. This thing's about to get exploded. Okay, so we've got 2 over here. We're going to want to move them out. They're now marked.
Aircast ready for orders.
Okay, our guys here can ping him. Pinged him. And basically you're just sitting here sniping the hell out of stuff, yeah? Because in a one-on-one fight straight down the barrel, you are going to win this. Like there's not much that can sit there that you have to, you like just have to maneuver.
The tower shall prosper.
These guys just have survived long enough to get another
The enemy
ping on them.
has seized a strategic area.
As the ethereals wish.
Basically take damage for us as well. Oh, that's dead.
The ethereals has been lost.
An escort ship is now wreckage. How may I serve the Tauba?
We're gonna ping him.
Resetting
Reload.
systems.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
We serve the Kobadra.
The ethereals has been lost.
Execute this
The
guy.
ethereals guide us. Gravitic drive to maximum.
Marked again.
Honor the teachings of Theora.
How may I serve the tower?
Okay.
For Anva it will be so.
Kor El ready.
Slow this down.
Bombing run underway.
These guys in behind. Ping them again.
Aircast ready for
Lock
orders.
on. Throw up a morale boost.
Bombing run
All
underway.
these guys in. We're just going to use this stasis field now. Which they should get caught in. Encouraging speech. More morale.
The ethereals
hang on.
guide us. At your orders, Kor. Weapons hot. Time to repair.
Okay, we're going to turn. We're going to shoot. Move this way.
Shall prosper. How may I serve the Tauba? Bombing run
This one we're going
underway.
to target his deck.
The Kobadra.
More bombing units. As you can see, the guys are just wrecking him. We don't need to get in close. We're not doing boarding actions. Not necessary.
Ready for orders.
But use your little ships here to just keep pinging your targets, right? Because you're getting those massive benefits from anything that's pinged, and you're locking onto them, right? So remember the tactics we got.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
Okay, they have like one ship left, I think.
Drones
gonna move-
have identified an enemy target.
We'll move this guy up here. We'll move this guy down here. These two can go up
Aircraft
here and
ready
take
for
this.
orders. Closing on your position. At your orders, Koro.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
Yeah, that's not going to make much difference at this point. So we're going
The
to
enemy
speed
has
this up a bit.
accumulated 50% of strategic points.
So as you can see there, it's we're going to use bombers. Oh,
That
he's
cannot
actually
be
got some stuff, does he?
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
As we get around here, we're going to turn in on this. This guy's going to sit up here. Actually, we're going to move
ready.
down. We're just going to throw bombers at this guy.
Bombing run underway. Aircast ready for orders.
Bombing run
Get rid of
underway.
that so he can't target us. We will use reload as soon as we're into place.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
Alright, fire's coming in.
Resetting systems.
At your orders, Corporal. Drones have identified an enemy target. How may I serve the Tauba? Reserve the Cobra. Bombing run underway.
We serve the Kovat. How may I serve?
Go
the
there.
Gravitic drive engage.
You sit there. You
Correct.
go there. So I'm just taking the points here, guys.
For Amba, it will be so.
Closing on your
Speed up a
position.
little bit.
Drones have identified an enemy
Slow
target.
it down.
Corvette
Okay. Stop.
patient hunter gets the prey. Bombing run underway.
Okay. Dead. Moving on. Gonna hit him up with the stasis field. This is stopping from going anywhere.
How may I serve?
From here, we can just turn and shoot. Like, we really don't have to do a lot else. Encourage the guys up a little bit.
Targeting sensors.
Do lock on. Fortunately, we don't have an escort down here to ping him. What are you
How
doing?
may I serve the tower?
I don't know why you keep
At
doing
your
that.
orders, Koro. At your orders, Koro.
Target acquired.
The enemy has accumulated 75% of
So, as you can
strategic
see,
points.
the firepower is considerable, yeah? The thing that I find wrong with them is if I go like this, right, say somebody's sitting behind me, look how quick this guy moves. Like, just turns on a dime.
Drive engaged.
Yeah, and his shooting arc is intense. And that's the problem. For something that shoots that well, they shouldn't be able to turn that quickly. That's quicker than, I feel like it's quicker than the others, by far. But that's the firepower. That's a brief overview of the firepower, and you saw there just the intense range and firepower coming in on you. So, can you outmaneuver it? Well, I mean, you can, but we just watched, and bear in mind, this is only a medium level. But you just watch the intense amount that came down there. Now this is in law and in line with the Tau, so it's pretty good, but you've got to. They're tough to beat. They are a really strong faction. You could just see the immense power that was coming out of them. And that was not even me really playing them well. It was me just sort of showing you through it and throwing some bits and pieces at them. So they probably need a little bit of balancing. Not so much these guys, but I think the Tau Protectorate fleet certainly does. All right, so that's it for the Tau. This is the episode where we all talked about the Tau. If you have any questions for me or any comments or feedback, I'd love to hear them, guys. Even if you've got some great strategies or some things you think that works really well with them, or things if you do think they're overpowered, then please do let me know in the comments below. As always, if you've enjoyed the episode, then please do make sure you leave a like there. It's a little thumbs up underneath there. If you didn't like it, that's cool, you can leave a thumbs down, but better yet, leave a comment, let me know exactly what you didn't like so I can improve the channel. As always, if you have enjoyed it and you want to see more Warhammer action, whether it's 40k or fantasy, or if you want to see some mech warrior or battletech stuff, or anything to do with strategy or fantasy, mostly, however, we do if you play it on a PC or an Xbox or whatever, and it's Warhammer, it's going to be on the channel eventually at some stage. I've only got 7 days in a week, guys, so I do try to get as much as I can in. But at the moment, I think we've got 2 different total Warhammer series running at the moment. We've got Mordheim series running at the moment. We've got we'll have a Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 series going at the moment. We have a Space Hulk with Friends Deathwing, Space Hulk Deathwing, which isn't strategy. Well, it is strategy, it's team play. Vermintide 2, we've got some stuff going on the channel with that. So it's all happening, guys. We'll be doing Chaos Bane when it comes out. Absolutely, we'll be doing Chaos Bane. Looks like a really good game. And I absolutely love Mordheim, City of the Damned. It's a turn-based strategy game. I really suggest if you haven't played it, you should go try it. It is fantastic. And they are, the same creators are making a new one called Underhive. Hang on, what the hell is it called? Necromunda Underhive, which is, from what I understand, very similar concept and playstyle, but set in the 40k universe in an Underhive, in a hive city. So, don't know a lot about the Gang Wars Underhive, which was a board game. Necromunda was a board game. But if it's anything like Mordheim, I'm really keen to play it. So, that one will definitely be coming out on the channel. So there's tons of cool stuff coming up, guys. So if you love Warhammer and you're really into playing the games and the lore like I am, then please drop a subscribe. If you're watching on BitChute, it's just above on the right. If you're watching on YouTube, it's just below on the right. You can also catch us on Instagram at Dog Shadow Gaming, where we'll be liking everything to do with Warhammer, whether it be posts or photos or pictures, painting, anything to do with that. I'm a bit of a fan of it all. So if you want to check out all the cool stuff that I see on Instagram all the time, then just drop a follow. And yeah, and also I put up whenever I'm going to go live, whether I be Twitch streaming at twitch.tv/dogshadowgaming is where we stream, and I stream stuff like this. Or you can just say hello or see when I'm going to put things up on like Minds, where it's Dog Shadow Gaming, or Twitter as well. All right, guys, enough blather from me. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I will see you on the next episode of Dog Shadow Gaming. See you guys. Bye.